Tom Cruise.
Thomas Cruise Mapother IV was born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York, to electrical engineer Thomas Cruise Mapother III (1934–1984) and special education teacher Mary Lee (née Pfeiffer). 1936 to 2017. His parents were both from Louisville, Kentucky, and had English, German, and Irish ancestry. Cruise has three sisters named Lee Ann, Marion, and Cass. One of his cousins, William Mapother, is also an actor who has appeared alongside Cruise in 5 films. Cruise grew up in near poverty and had a Catholic upbringing. He later described his father as a merchant of chaos, a bully, and a coward, who beat his children. He elaborated, "My father was the kind of person where, if something goes wrong, they kick you. It was a great lesson in my life. How he'd lull you in, make you feel safe and then, bang. For me, it was like, there's something wrong with this guy. Don't trust him. Be careful around him." Cruise spent part of his childhood in Canada. When his father took a job as a defense consultant with the Canadian Armed Forces, his family moved in late 1971 to Beacon Hill, Ottawa. He attended the new Robert Hopkins Public School for his 4th and 5th grade education. He first became involved in drama in 4th grade, under the tutelage of drama teacher George Steinberg. He and 6 other boys put on an improvised play to music called IT at the Carleton Elementary School Drama Festival. Drama organizer Val Wright, who was in the audience, later said that, "The movement and improvisation were excellent. It was a classic ensemble piece." In 6th grade, Cruise went to Henry Monroe Middle School in Ottawa. That year, his mother left his father, taking Cruise and his sisters back to the United States. In 1978, she married Jack South. Cruise's father died of cancer in 1984. Cruise briefly took a Catholic Church scholarship and attended the St. Francis Seminary in Cincinnati, Ohio. He aspired to become a Franciscan priest before being expelled from the seminary for drinking and becoming interested in acting. In total, he attended 15 schools in 14 years. In his senior year of high school, he played football for the varsity team as a linebacker, but was cut from the squad after getting caught drinking beer before a game. He went on to star in the school's production of Guys and Dolls. In 1980, he graduated from Glen Ridge High School in Glen Ridge, New Jersey. Career. At age 18, with the blessing of his mother and stepfather, Cruise moved to New York City to pursue an acting career. After working as a busboy in New York, he went to Los Angeles to try out for television roles. He signed with CAA and began acting in films. He first appeared in a bit part in the 1981 film Endless Love, followed by a major supporting role as a crazed military academy student in Taps later that year. In 1983, Cruise was part of the ensemble cast of The Outsiders. That same year he appeared in All the Right Moves and Risky Business, which has been described as a Generation X classic, and a career maker for Tom Cruise. He also played the male lead in the Ridley Scott film Legend, released in 1985. By 1986's Top Gun, his status as a superstar had been cemented. Cruise followed up Top Gun with The Color of Money, which came out the same year, and which paired him with Paul Newman. 1988 saw him star in Cocktail, which earned him a nomination for the Razzie Award for Worst Actor. Later that year he starred with Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, which won the Academy Award for Best Film and Cruise the Kansas City Film Critics Circle Award for Best Supporting Actor. Cruise portrayed real-life paralyzed Vietnam War veteran Ron Kovic in 1989's Born on the 4th of July, which earned him a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama. The Chicago Film Critics Association Award for Best Actor, the People's Choice Award for Favorite Motion Picture Actor, a nomination for BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role, and Cruise's first Best Actor Academy Award nomination. Cruise's next films were Days of Thunder, 1990, and Far and Away, 1992, both of which co-starred then-wife Nicole Kidman as his love interest. Followed by the legal thriller The Firm, which was a critical and commercial success. In 1994, Cruise starred along with Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas and Christian Slater in Neil Jordan's Interview with the Vampire, a gothic drama, horror film that was based on Anne Rice's best-selling novel. The film was well received, although Rice was initially quite outspoken in her criticism of Cruise having been cast in the film, as Julian Sands was her first choice. Upon seeing the film, however, she paid $7,740 for a two-page ad in Daily Variety praising his performance and apologizing for her previous doubts about him. In 1996, Cruise appeared as super spy Ethan Hunt in the reboot of Mission Impossible, which he produced. It was a box office success, although it received criticism regarding the Jim Phelps character being a villain despite being a protagonist of the original television series. In 1996, he took on the title role in Jerry Maguire, for which he earned a Golden Globe and his second nomination for an Academy Award. In 1999, Cruise co-starred with Kidman in the erotic Stanley Kubrick film Eyes Wide Shut, and took a rare supporting role, as a motivational speaker, Frank T.J. Mackey, in Magnolia, for which he received another Golden Globe and nomination for an Academy Award. In 2000, Cruise returned as Ethan Hunt in the second installment of the Mission Impossible films, Mission Impossible 2. The film was helmed by Hong Kong director John Woo and branded with his gun fu style, and continued the series' blockbuster success at the box office, taking in almost $547 million in worldwide figures. Like its predecessor, it was the highest-grossing film of the year, and had a mixed critical reception. Cruise received an MTV Movie Award for Best Male Performance for this film. His next 5 films were major critical and commercial successes. The following year Cruise starred in the romantic thriller Vanilla Sky, 2001, with Cameron Diaz and Penelope Cruz. In 2002, Cruise starred in the dystopian science fiction action film Minority Report, which was directed by Steven Spielberg and based on the science fiction short story by Philip K. Dick. In 2003, he starred in Edward Zwick's period action drama The Last Samurai, for which he received a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor. In 2004, Cruise received critical acclaim for his performance as Vincent in Collateral, directed by Michael Mann. In 2005, Cruise worked again with Steven Spielberg in War of the Worlds, a loose adaptation of the H. G. Wells novel of the same name, which became the 4th highest-grossing film of the year with $591.4 million United States dollars worldwide. Also in 2005, he won the People's Choice Award for Favorite Male Movie Star and the MTV Generation Award. Cruise was nominated for 7 Saturn Awards between 2002 and 2009, winning once. 9 of the 10 films he starred in during the decade made over $100 million at the box office. In 2006, he returned to his role as Ethan Hunt in the third installment of the Mission Impossible film series, Mission: Impossible 3. The film was more positively received by critics than the previous films in the series, and grossed nearly $400 million at the box office. In 2007, Cruise took a rare supporting role for the second time in Lions for Lambs, which was a commercial disappointment. This was followed by an unrecognizable appearance as Les Grossman in the 2008 comedy Tropic Thunder with Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. This performance earned Cruise a Golden Globe nomination. Cruise played the central role in the historical thriller Valkyrie, released on December 25, 2008 to box office success. In March 2010, Cruise completed filming the action comedy Night and Day, in which he re-teamed with former co-star Cameron Diaz. The film was released on June 23, 2010. On February 9, 2010, Cruise confirmed that he would star in Mission: Impossible – Ghost Protocol, the fourth installment in the Mission: Impossible series. The film was released in December 2011 to high critical acclaim and box office success. Unadjusted for ticket price inflation, it was Cruise's biggest commercial success to that date. On May 6, 2011, Cruise was awarded a humanitarian award from the Simon Wiesenthal Center and its Museum of Tolerance for his work as a dedicated philanthropist. In mid-2011, Cruise started shooting the movie Rock of Ages, in which he played the character Stacey Jax. The film was released in June 2012. Cruise starred as Jack Reacher in the film adaptation of British author Lee Child's 2005 novel One Shot. The film was released on December 21, 2012. It met with positive reviews from critics and was a box office success, grossing $217 million worldwide. In 2013, he starred in the science fiction film Oblivion, based on director Joseph Kosinski's graphic novel of the same name. The film met with mixed reviews and grossed $286 million worldwide. It also starred Morgan Freeman and Olga Kurylenko in 2014. Cruise starred in the science fiction action film Edge of Tomorrow, which received positive reviews and grossed over $370 million. In 2015, Cruise returned as Ethan Hunt in the fifth installment of the Mission: Impossible series, Mission: Impossible – Rogue Nation, which he also produced. Returning cast members included Simon Pegg as Benji and Jeremy Renner as William Brandt, with Christopher McQuarrie as director. The film earned high critical acclaim and was a commercial success. Cruise starred in the 2017 reboot of Boris Karloff's 1932 horror movie The Mummy. The new film, also titled The Mummy, received negative reviews and flopped at the box office. In 2018, Cruise again reprised Ethan Hunt, in the sixth film in his franchise, Mission: Impossible – Fallout. The film was more positively received by critics than the previous films in the series, and grossed over $791 million at the box office. Unadjusted for ticket price inflation, it is Cruise's biggest commercial success to date. In May 2020, it was reported that Cruise would be starring and producing the first-ever movie shot in outer space. Doug Liman would be directing, writing, and co-producing. Both will fly to the International Space Station as part of a future Axiom space mission in a SpaceX Dragon 2 spacecraft. In May 2021, Cruise protested against the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, HFPA, by returning all three of his Golden Globe Awards in light of controversy surrounding the HFPA, particularly its lack of diversity, specifically no black members, and ethical questions related to financial benefits to some of its members. Personal life. Cruise splits his time between homes in Beverly Hills, California, Clearwater, Florida, Dulwich, London, and East Grinstead, West Sussex. He had several relationships with women in the early to mid-1980s, including Rebecca De Mornay, Patti Scialfa, and Cher. Cruise married actress Mimi Rogers on May 9, 1987. They divorced on February 4, 1990. Rogers introduced Cruise to Scientology. Cruise met his second wife, actress Nicole Kidman, on the set of their film Days of Thunder, 1990. The couple married on December 24, 1990. They adopted 2 children, Isabella Jane, born 1992, and Connor Anthony, born 1995. In February 2001, Cruise filed for divorce from Kidman while she was unknowingly pregnant. The pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. In 2007, Kidman clarified rumors of a miscarriage early in her marriage to Cruise, explaining that she had actually had an ectopic pregnancy. Cruise was next romantically linked with Penelope Cruz, his co-star in Vanilla Sky, 2001. Their 3-year relationship ended in 2004. An article in the October 2012 issue of Vanity Fair stated that several sources have said that after the breakup with Cruise, Scientologist leaders launched a secret project to find Cruise a new girlfriend. According to those sources, a series of auditions of Scientologist actresses resulted in a short-lived relationship with British-Iranian actress Nazanin Boniadi, who subsequently left Scientology. Scientology and Cruise's lawyers issued strongly worded denials and threatened to sue, accusing Vanity Fair of shoddy journalism and religious bigotry. Journalist Roger Friedman later reported that he received an email from director and ex-Scientologist Paul Haggis confirming the story. In April 2005, Cruise began dating actress Katie Holmes. On April 27 that year, Cruise and Holmes, dubbed Tomcat by the media, made their first public appearance together in Rome. A month later, Cruise publicly declared his love for Holmes on The Oprah Winfrey Show, infamously jumping up and down on Winfrey's couch during the show. Media coverage at the time implied that Oprah was somewhat taken aback by Cruise's overexuberant couch outburst, which distracted from the intended promotion of Cruise's current film, War of the Worlds. On October 6, 2005, Cruise and Holmes announced they were expecting a child. In April 2006, their daughter Suri was born. On November 18, Holmes and Cruise were married at the 15th-century Odescalchi Castle in Bracciano, in a Scientologist ceremony attended by many Hollywood stars. Their publicists said the couple had officialized their marriage in Los Angeles the day before the Italian ceremony. There has been widespread speculation that their marriage was arranged by the Church of Scientology. David Miscavige, the head of Scientology, served as Cruise's best man. On June 29, 2012, Holmes filed for divorce from Cruise. On July 9, the couple signed a divorce settlement worked out by their lawyers. New York law requires all divorce documents remain sealed, so the exact terms of the settlement are not publicly available.